Hi, my name is Mike Coughlin. I'm a producer, remixer and DJ, and I release my work on labels like Enjune Beats and Amada, as well as my own label Noise Music. Over the years I collaborated with many artists including Above and Beyond, Lunch and Alex Morph, to name a few, and I'm also a course developer and tutor here at Point Blank, and you are watching Production Analysis. Okay, in this third and final part of the Motorcycle as the Rush Comes deconstruction, I'm going to take a closer look at the other musical elements that are in this track. I've laid out the basic arrangement with the bits that we've created so far, including the main riff with its modulated delays, the bass line and the drums here. I've used the marker track to highlight the sections that I want to examine next. This one here is like a faster square wave kind of riff, and we've got an analog string pad. But I'm going to start with adding this vocal line here. It's basically an ad-lib that Jess is singing, but this line actually also forms an integral part of the chords later on in the track. Now, unfortunately, I don't have the a cappella, so I'm just going to load up an EXS24 choir preset. And it's that movement here that we need to play in from the B to the C sharp to the D and further up. So it's basically just going up the scale of B minor. That line is coming up again in the first mini drop of the track, so let's play it in. So it's going around twice like this before progressing to the D, E and F sharp. Absolutely classic trance progression with that little variation here at the end. So let's check it out in the piano roll editor. Slight misquantize there, so I'm gonna set this to 1/8 and that fixed it. Okay, let's check out this next section here. And it's that downward sequence that I want to recreate. Square wave with added white noise. And I'm gonna use the Logic ES1 for that. Still a great synth. And we can create the sound from the factory default setting again. Set oscillator 1 to square wave. Sounds like this. Open the filter a bit. And then this is kind of the line that I want to play in. But I want to add some white noise here with the second oscillator. And then we just set the balance between oscillator 1 and 2. In the middle is probably about right. And then change the ADSR curve a little bit, make it a bit more plucky and lengthen the release time. So let's compare it to the original. And that sounds pretty close to me. Just need some more effect. So I'm simply gonna send it to the bus that we've already created for the main riff with the modulated stereo delays and the Space Designer reverb, and add it onto this ES1 sound. Okay, so let's play it in. So this time we are basically just going down the scale of B minor, starting from the G. All the way down to the root note. Basically this riff is going the opposite direction to the vocal line that we've just played in a minute ago. Just needs quantizing to 16th. And then that's that riff sorted out too. Just one more quick change. Actually, I want the levels of the notes to be constant. So here I set the level via velocity faders to the center position. And then over here with the setting like this, if I hit the keyboard, the velocities only affect the cutoff frequency of the filter. So next what I'll do down here in the piano roll is create a velocity curve. If you hold down the mouse button, you get this green line with which you can draw in a velocity ramp like this. And now if I play the track, the filter of the ES1 will open over the course of 8 bars with increasing velocities, but the levels of the note are actually staying the same. You could achieve a similar result using automation, obviously, but I like working with these velocity to filter kind of settings sometimes. Can give you some really interesting results. So one more riff to examine. I've marked it over here, and it's an analog string pad. Let's play the original to have a listen. So it's a really nice and wide analog string sound with added flanger or chorus possibly. And I'm gonna recreate that with an ES2, starting from one of the presets, Cosmic Strings Dark. And it sounds fairly similar to the sound we want to recreate already. This is the line I'm gonna play in. Add a bit more of the built-in distortion again, a slightly overdriven sound, and let's use the flanger down here. Increase the intensity and set the speed to slow. Bit less here, and I'd say now we're ready to play it in. So it's following exactly the same progression as the square riff I just played in. Same notes, but that's still the dry sound at the moment, and it needs some more effects. So let's use the send again and send it to the effects bus. Makes it more atmospheric and actually more stereo too. And then I also want to be able again to control the filter and write in the automation so that the filter opens and closes across the arrangement. So let's open automation view and choose ES2, mix and filter, low pass filter cutoff. Let's make it a bit bigger, and we can now just draw in the line with the filter opening over 8 bars in this section. You can see the automation controlling the filter here. So let's have a listen to the whole thing with all the elements that we've added. I've placed the region with the choir line here too. And now we can hear and see actually in the piano roll how these 3 riffs interlink and work with each other. And then in this next section here, everything is playing now, including the riff with the modulated delays, the additional riffs, the bass line, and the drums. All in all, there's still actually barely 10 channels in this arrangement, and I think As the Rush Comes is a great example actually of how to create a huge track with very few elements. So I hope you've enjoyed this deconstruction. Head over to pointblankonline.net for more info.
At Point Blank Online, you've got two methods of interaction with your tutor. Firstly, you've got the weekly online masterclass, which is in real time. And then also we've got feedback on your assignments, and that's known as DVR. So the online masterclass is a 1-hour session you get with your tutor every week. You can ask questions about the lesson content and get instant feedback, and also demonstrations on the fly from their computer desktop with our streaming technology. DVR stands for Direct Video Response, and the concept is really simple. You upload your Ableton Logic or Cubase project file to your tutor, he downloads it and then pushes record on the screen capturing software and evaluates your work, so basically giving you one-to-one feedback. You see all of the mouse movements and any parameter changes made by your tutor. It's kind of like sitting in the studio over their shoulder watching what they're doing whilst they work. We have found the DVR process has truly revolutionized the way that we teach online, and the results speak for themselves. Book your place on a course now by visiting pointblankonline.net.